Hello, in this video we'll be going over how to expand and simplify algebraic expressions. So in this video we'll be mostly dealing with problems that have, let's say, an x at the front and you have some expression like 2x minus 1 on the inside. So we'll be learning how to distribute this to each of the terms and simplify it. So when you expand and simplify things, it's basically asking you to distribute this out, and it will create a bunch of new terms, and you basically got to add the like terms together. By doing that, you'll be simplifying and answering the problems. I feel like we could just get straight into the problems to understand what we're doing. So let's just go straight into problem 1. So I want you to expand and simplify just question 1 here, okay? So if you want to have a go at this, feel free to pause the video and have a go. Alright, so what this means here is basically you have -3 out here and it's multiplying by this entire thing on the inside. So what you got to do is distribute the -3 to the x and to the -5. So the way we do this is pretty much we go -3 times x, which is -3x, and -3 times -5, which is 15, because the negative times a negative is a positive. So we're just left with plus 15. And that's all you pretty much have to do, is just expand it. You just put the -3, multiply it by the x, put the -3, multiply it by the -5. And that's it, pretty much expanded, right? Expanded and simplified. Because this 3x term is not the same as this, because this has an x here, and this is just a number here. Alright, have a go at question 2. If you want to have a go, feel free to pause the video, or you can wait for me. Alright, so this one is exactly the same as question 1. It's pretty much just saying we have 2x multiplied by 1 minus x, okay? So all we got to do is the same thing as the -3 that was up here, is we just got to distribute the 2x to the 1 and to the negative x, okay? So all we got to do is first outer inner last, pretty much. So negative 2x times by 1 is 2x, and 2x times by -x is -2x squared, okay? Now, as you can see, if you were to factor out 2x here, you'd get the same expression up here, okay? But that's not simplifying. This is expanding and simplifying here. What I just did before was factorizing. So all we're going to do is distribute the 2x into the 1 minus the x, alright? And you should get 2x minus 2x squared, alright? Alright, so let's go into question 3. So if you want to have a go at this one, just expand and simplify question 3. Alright, so this one is pretty much the same as the first one. There is no x here, it's just got 2 over 7. Now that's quite a nasty number because it's a fraction, but it's the same principle as before. All we got to do, all this is saying is 2 over 7 multiplied by 14x plus 3, okay? All you got to do is distribute 2 over 7 to the 14x and to the 3, right? So where we do that is we just go 2 over 7 multiplied by 14x plus 2 over 7 multiplied by 3. Notice how these terms here are separate. It's because they're not the same, they're not like terms. One of them has an x and one of them is just a number. So we can't add them together because they're not technically the same thing. So we just treat them separately. So the way we do our fractions is, well, basically if you have any number, if you have 14, that's the same as 14 over 1. So you can change the 14 how it looks to 14 over 1, and you just multiply the top of the fraction with the bottom of the fraction. And you can do the same with the 3 over here. So 3 is just the same as 3 divided by 1. So you multiply the 2 and the 3 and the 7 and the 1. Alright? I'll just get rid of those circles there so you guys can see. So we're left with 14 times by 2 is 28, and 7 times by 1 is 7. And we have the x still here, plus 2 times 3 divided by 7. So we're left with 28 over 7x, plus simplifying this top term here is 6. We can actually simplify this a bit more. 28 divided by 7 is 4, so we can simplify that down to 4x plus 6 over 7. Alright, cool. And that's expanded and simplified to the simplest expression you can get. Alright, if you have any questions, leave some in the comments below, or just, yeah, pretty much. Comments is the only way you can contact me. Alright, this one's a bit harder. Question 4 onwards gets a bit more algebraic, but we're going to introduce this idea of FOIL method. So FOIL method stands for first, outer, inner, last. Alright, that won't be seen in question 4, but it will be seen when you come down to question 5 here. Alright, so let's have a go at question number 4. So if you want to have a go, feel free to pause the video and have a go. Alright, so question 4 is exactly the same as the previous ones, except it has 2 of these, alright? But we're going to do the same ideas that we did up there before. So it's just the same as x multiplied by 2x minus 1 minus x times by 3 minus x, okay? So all this is doing is the x is acting in here, it's multiplying in there, and this x is multiplying in here, okay? So this side over here simplifies to 2x squared minus x, and this side here simplifies to negative 3x plus x squared, okay? And as you can see, this is a like term with this, and this is a like term with that, okay? So all we've got to do is add the like terms, so we're left with 3x squared minus 4x, okay? And that is the answer fully simplified, alright? Alright, let's get down to question 5. So question 5 uses the FOIL method. So if you want to have a go at this before I explain it, feel free to do so. So basically with the FOIL method, first, outer, inner, last, that basically means is you basically got to multiply this x here with this x here, and this 4 here, and this 5 here with that x there, and that 4 there. I'll get rid of these circles. So basically that's what first, outer, inner, last means. So you got to take this pretty slow. So first off, we're just going to do the x's. So x times x is just x squared. Next we're going to do is the x and the 4, so that's just going to be 4x. And next we're going to move on to our 5, so it's going to be 5 times by x, and we're going to have a plus 5x. And then we're going to do the 5 and the 4. 5 times by 4 is 20. Okay? Alright, as we can see, this is a like term, this is a like term, so we can simplify this whole thing. So x squared plus 9x plus 20. So that is expanded and simplified. Alright? Alright, let's have a go at question 6. So if you want to have a go without me, feel free to have a go. Alright, so what does this mean? So recall when you have like x squared, what does that actually mean? That just means x times x 2 times, right? So it's the same idea here. What this means, x minus 4 all squared, basically just means x minus 4 times by x minus 4. Do not do this. Do not think of your index law here where you think it's going to be x squared minus 16. That is a big no-no. That would only be true if this wasn't a minus sign, but this was a times or divide sign, okay? But since we have a minus sign, that is not true at all. This squared here, is acting on everything in the bracket, okay? On everything around the bracket. So it's this whole thing here that's getting squared. Similarly, if you were to have, instead of an x squared, if you had a cubed, you'd have to do it 3 times. So notice this is determined to the number of degree you have here. Okay? That's what that means. Alright, so I'll just rub that out. So if we have x minus 4 all squared, that's basically just saying x minus 4 multiplied by x minus 4. And now we're going to do the same thing that we did up here. We're going to do our first, outer, inner, last. So I would recommend drawing this arrow. So I draw the arrow from this one here to this one here, and to this one here, and to this one here. So we're going to do our x's first. So we're going to have x squared. Next off, we're going to do x minus times by negative 4, so we're going to have negative 4x. Now we're going to do negative 4 multiplied by our x, so we're going to have another negative 4x here, and then we're going to have negative 4 times by negative 4, so you can have a plus 16. Notice how these here are like terms, so you can add them together. So we're going to have x squared minus 8x plus 16. And that is fully expanded and simplified. Alright, let's move on to our last question of the video. So if you want to have a go at this question, feel free to have a go. Alright, straight off the back, it is a FOIL question. So first, outer, inner, last. So straight off the back, we're going to draw our arrows. So we're going to have arrow going in here, an arrow going in here, and an arrow going in here, an arrow going in here. So 2x multiplied by 2x is 4x squared. So that's what I did here. I did this arrow first. Now I'm going to do the second arrow. So 2x multiplied by negative 1 is going to be negative 2x. Next off, we're going to do 1 multiplied by 2x, and we're going to have plus 2x. Then we're going to do 1 multiplied by negative 1, and we're going to have negative 1 here. Notice these are like terms, so you can add them together. Negative 2x plus 2x is just 0, so those two will cancel out. So we're left with 4x squared minus 1. Alright, this was a quick short video. I just want to get this idea started pretty much. I'll be doing a couple videos on this because it's a huge topic in mathematics. If you have any questions, feel free to leave some in the comments. If you enjoyed and you learned something, like and subscribe. Alright, thank you.